Alright, and welcome to the 19th episode, I think. Or 20th. I swear I'm terrible at keeping track of stuff. It's between one of those, so I think we're on 19th, but, I don't know. I don't know why I keep messing that up. I guess I just do. But, there's a couple extra things that I do want to show. In the meantime, while I was gone, and not uploading anything is, might need a bit of work, but just like kind of ocean borders, like kind of like what each country like has, especially the island nations. This is extremely important. Um, so and my guess is with the island nations here, I'll probably be using it a lot. I mean, hopefully to make things more interesting, but until then, that's just kind of a thing to keep in mind. And I guess we should probably just like get started with the first couple things is a war, because I feel like there hasn't been enough of that, and we kind of have to have it. And it's going to be between this little country and these guys, the brown team. They've been kind of lacking, and they've just been crumbling as a country. So these guys took on the opportunity and took their entire army to completely try to wipe out these guys. And there was like little to no troops here, so anything that they had was mostly just like on the ocean border, which they were able to conquer. But this also sparks the idea for these guys right here also to take some land, because they also want to try to expand, because they lost the civil war with those guys. So now they're a little upsetty spaghetti about that, but they're kind of just they kind of decide, fine, we can cooperate, kind of. And this is what they are able to conquer, actually. Perfect. Now this is looking more like this, and there's just, I don't know, these two little guys right here. I don't know what to say about that, but like, what we're gonna be moving on to is these guys who were kind of enslaved by the green team, which is gonna be very important in a second. But basically, they've kind of been kicked out of that area, and I mean they decided to run away. So what they're gonna do is actually they're going to expand their little border right here, with some more land, because they just have like a bunch of people, because from all the enslaved people, they were able to get most of them out of the country and into, I guess, like this new free state. So these guys just look that much bigger. But also, it's been a while since we've had anything right here, and that's because we're gonna see them expand right now. There's gonna be a new country here, because all of this like hecticness from especially these areas, a lot of people have been migrating into these areas, and while a lot have been going into like a lot of these countries, a couple actually just decided they're gonna make a brand new country, because they just didn't really like how these ones work. They kind of wanted like a mix of both, like still have some of their like old ideas from this, but still have something new and fresh. So a lot of people, actually like a majority almost of like the people that travel here, actually decide to join up with this brand new country that is going to be created. All right, so these brand new guys, they're going to be like right up here, I guess, in this little area. Now some of these guys are a little worried, especially like these two are on the border, that like since they're not like fully aligned with them, and they kind of have some ideas from, so these guys are getting a little worried. But besides that, they're mostly chill with these guys. So until anything like, I guess, like else happens, there's not going to be too much problems. Remember when I said that we were going to come back to these guys? I said that for a very important reason, because there's going to be a very large civil war of this country from just multiple reasons. And just because, especially when these guys like lost their kind of like slaves and stuff, they didn't really have anyone to like fill that niche, because they didn't really have workers, nor did they really want to pay them. So they kind of enslaved their population, because they didn't really have anyone else to fill the niche. And basically everyone decided to revolt, rightfully so. So for example, down here we have a large population down here just deciding to revolt right here due to those very interesting circumstances. Okay, so just had to quickly, I guess, do this, but as we can see, in total chaos, the green team that it is in. Revolts have sparked everywhere in lots of different groups, so yeah, they might have fucked up a little, but well, we're about to see how much worse it gets, because first of all, we're going to be seeing the rebels of the pink team completely capture this area, and they actually, some of them decide to work together, like this dark brownish red thing. They decide to work together to meet up with these guys right here to kind of like cut this country off, which allows these guys to more easily just kind of like sweep through this area and get some more of this land. Oh wait, no, I don't want that. To take some of more of this land, which they do successfully. And these guys right here, these rebels down there, they're kind of just chilling. There's like no troops here. They're having, well, everyone here is like kind of chaos. They're just like kind of vibing here, just slowly taking land with like nothing to worry about. So they're casually doing their thing. But this is where the pure chaos is, because we see these guys kind of like slither around like the coast and inch ever so much closer to the capital and try to cut these guys off. But there's only so much that goes well, because they are pushed back very heavily back here with all of their troops, which some are also just not doing too well, because some are literally just conscription. Yes, I forgot the word. So some soldiers just don't also fight in general, so they can only get so far. They do cut this part off, but like I said, they might get like pretty far down here, but especially focusing on like this specific group to crush, but it can only go so well until it goes poorly with these guys being able to push it right back up here. These guys completely making a recovery and just like completely pushing up here, capturing as much land as possible and cutting this part off. We also see, I guess, like this light lime colorish country take the rest of this area right here. And we also see these guys right here deciding to take this right here. Now, a little issue that we might be seeing here is that these guys can't really take more land. So what they actually do is they decide to attack this little like goldish kind of country, taking this like southern main portion. So this instantly kind of strains relations. So these guys kind of go back and forth on like who's going to get what, and these guys are able to get like some of this area back with some skirmishes and a little bit of fighting, because these guys get to like this right here. So it's kind of violent, and it's a very interesting war to say the least. But they get to like this until they both decide to stop and agree on like a bit of peace, and they'll figure out what's going to happen later. But that's also because these guys are getting pushed back down here, and as well as right here, which is not the best. But the problem is there's just too much rebels with all the people, and it's just not going to work, because these guys are able to meet up right here, and these guys right here are also able to move up a little right here and go here and work with this like cyan country to crush this massive army that was right here. That was like a big issue, and everything else just kind of starts to crumble with these guys able to capture like most of this right here. They just capture all of this with kind of, I guess, like minimal issue, because everything's just starting to collapse until this like dark country right here works together to make this, and then with the cyan country they're able to cut these guys off, which also allows these guys to go down here to take more of this, because there's just no troops here. And I mean, hey, free land is free land. And then there's also just these guys who they've just been vibing. They've had like no issue. So they just basically got a bunch of free land doing practically nothing. But what we also see is that all the troops are right here, and they're just like all holding off right there in that area. So while everyone else just kind of captures every last bit of area they can in like a last kind of minute effort, it's only like when they lose the rest of these portions right here do they realize that okay, maybe it's time to surrender, which is exactly what they do, and the entire world's like, Jesus, that was kind of bloody, but also kind of expected, you dumbass. Because now, it is time for a peace negotiation. This is going to be very confusing. Oh boy. Okay, what I've created is, basically chaos. This is a monstrosity, but it's okay, guys. Basically, these guys have been shriveled down to this tiny little thing from being, I think they were just under, like, top 15. Man, I'm already forgetting things. I have, like, terrible memory. Like, what is happening? To being, like, I'd say between one of, like, between, like, it's the top 3 weakest for sure. It's between, like, these two and this. I mean, then again, there's quite a few weak countries, actually, now that I think about it. And I just realized I forgot to add capitals. God damn it. There we go. Now we have given them proper capitals, and now there's just like a bunch of countries right here. Oh well. Now, what we need to be seeing is more exploration, because that is a long overdue thing. And I guess with more countries, that just makes another excuse. And they actually find a large, lake, river. No, river. That actually reminds me. Where is the river layer? It's somewhere here. Guys, I might have lost the river. Oh, here it is. It's been actually so long since we've used this. I remember when we used this a lot, but now, not really. We haven't really used this. I don't know. You guys tell me if you guys want to see this again. It's just, damn, from like when we started. I remember all of this right here. Interesting, actually. That's actually been a while. Anyways, we must continue to, yes, explore more of these areas up here. Actually, okay, I need to like make this bigger. Oh yeah, because then they get to explore all of this. And these guys right here, they kind of went on a mission to. They were going to sail out with some things, which actually allowed them to explore a lot of this area way up here. But they also got some missions right here, which allowed them to get all of this, including this entire lake right here. Yeah. Now this honestly would be probably over the course of like the last maybe like 3 episodes, and like all over, because again, long overdue for that meant to being all explored and stuff. But actually, what I also want to be seeing is that this country right here would actually be really populated from all the people moving, which means that we need to make them bigger. That's, in simple words, what we need to do, and that's what I'm actually going to do. Perfect. These guys just basically doubled in size, but honestly, I think that's okay with the population that they have. Okay, so basically, with these guys expanding and more worry around here, which honestly I'll probably talk about more in the next episode, because with a bit of time constraint, I don't know how long I can make this video. Hopefully long, but I mean, you guys will see that. But actually, what I also want to do is make these guys expand, because they definitely would have in the last couple of episodes, seeing how like with over time how rich they've been getting. So I think it's good to say that they would be like yeah, my goddamn English is not Englishing. They would be like pretty good off with something like this. And actually, like, why can't, hold on, gotta make this look good, kind of. But we will also be seeing the island nation right here, which has found lots of riches in these little like islands. It is going to allow them to also do some expanding in their own little areas. There we go. Now they have this thing right here. And you know what? We can wait. What we need actually is another war. I mean, this was a pretty big event with all the stuff happening. I mean, that pretty major stuff. I guess what we could be seeing is actually a war with these two. Actually, yeah, because these guys actually want to like get a border with their little exclave right here. So that is why they declare war on this country. And the problem is the gains are very, very slow, but they're like very slow pace, with them only getting this far until it's like already a stalemate, and this goes on for multiple months where there's just slow gains. Because I mean, they are winning, they're just very painstakingly slow. Because these guys kind of expected it like any day now, so they built a really large military, like for their size, obviously, to like be able to fend off these guys, which they're pretty successful, honestly. But until anything more important happens, they're just gonna like be these like slow gains until something happens. So that's gonna be like an ongoing war. So you guys want to keep that in mind because there's another event happening. It is a coalition against the Orange team. These guys, they got a little too powerful for the liking of almost all the island nations besides the Green team. Okay, I'm back with. I was a little preoccupied with something, but now I'm back, and I'm pretty sure I was at where there was like a coalition forming, but it's going to be between these three countries right here. They're going to help these guys out, and they're going to start this invasion, at least in the beginning, down in the south right here. They're able to penetrate this area pretty deep with these, but they don't really get the rest, especially this bulge right here, which they're not able to like get entirely. And what was unexpected, since there wasn't much troops right here, is these two attacking. So the Orange team was caught a little off guard, which was lucky for these guys, which allows them to get pretty deep in here. But also, since the island nations are so confusing, they all have places and stuff everywhere, including these guys right here. So they also decided to push up into here, but still with more difficulty because they had more troops right there. But the green team is actually also going to have a great time, actually, because they were kind of the least expected to do that. So they're actually able to capture all of this right here. I don't know about you, but I'd say that's pretty good. Now, these guys know pretty well that their goal won't really be to capture the mainland or really kind of like hop around too much, because these guys have the #1 navy in the entire world. So it's kind of hard to beat them, if I'm going to be honest. So making any invasions like right here or on the mainland is going to be pretty difficult. So their main goals are to capture these two islands and maybe eventually just kind of keep pushing to the point where it's just not worth it for these guys. So that's their current goal. That's the wrong color, actually. So that's their main goal, and they're able these guys are able to go down here, but once they get to around here, that's when the reinforcements start to arrive and completely kick them out over here and make a big push up here, which is not so good. And they just kind of completely decimate a lot of troops right here, and it's kind of looking like this. But this part is just they're kind of cooked. It's just not doing good right there. So these guys get this part, and the rest of the Lime team is able to capture with little to no difficulty, just because they were kind of caught off extremely off guard right here. So that's what kind of got them the disadvantage. But they're still going to be able to get some naval landings right here and like get some areas like right here and right here, but nothing much that's really going to help them out too much in the war. But as you can see, it's not going too well right now. It's right now really even, but what we will be seeing is these guys right here, these little fellas right here. What they're going to do is they are going to declare war and make a push right here, since this was probably the most unexpected country to attack them right now. I mean, it'd probably be these guys because they're in a current war, or actually no, that's probably the green team, but like it was extremely unexpected, and like obviously they're going to lose. So you might be wondering why they did that. That would be because of a very certain reason of in simple words, they are saying, you give us this land right now, or we get the blue team involved, because these two actually have good relations, since if we look since they've just had like good ties to also just have good trade relations, and with a secret plan of maybe getting rid of the brown team and yada yada. So they have a lot of stuff that align with them. So that's why they're kind of like pretty good pals actually, and they both kind of hate these guys just because like. And even these guys, some people have been converting to like the blue team religion. So honestly, it's just been like really good. So that is why they decided to do that. And the orange team, having a bit of a hassle down in the south, they say, okay, fine, we'll give you like some of this land. We'll see you later. But until then, these guys are just gonna take some land and actually take a little more, even though they kind of agreed not to. And then they decided that's enough. Enough is enough, and they're gonna take only that much. So now we can focus back down onto the south because, in simple words, they're kind of winning here, but definitely losing in the more like areas right here because these guys are getting aided, of course, and they keep getting kicked out. Besides this little area that stands right here, which is like a big city that's kind of hard to take. But as they can see, it's kind of going to be an even fight. So now it's more of who can outlast the other because they might have lost some troops up here, but in the long run, it's kind of even because they are being supplied by the blue team, which these guys are a little upsetty spaghetti about. But so it's honestly really even and kind of, oh no, don't do that, and kind of hard to say. But these guys are able to make another push right here and actually almost make an encirclement right here. So these guys have to retreat, and it kind of pushes them back right here. Why is that? Okay, I'll fix that later. But of course, they kind of left the south undefended in that big campaign. So these guys can kind of just like bulge through right here and kind of like take all of this area. So these two are pretty back and forth. They're fairly close in the rankings when it comes to I don't remember what I put these guys, but I might have to bump them up slightly because they are actually a pretty powerful country, if I'm going to be honest. So I don't know about that, but with these two full forces, just like no holding back, because they're not really worried about any of these two attacking them, they use all their forces and are able to capture the capital. Now, they're going to attempt to make a landing onto the mainland, which, kind of obviously is not successful. Actually, I know, shocking right there, but they don't stand a chance with the Navy yet, unless, I don't know, something were to happen. But until then, it's just these two going back and forth with one going with the other. But of course, since these guys are a little stronger, they will be able to go a little further. Where was I? Yes, yeah. These guys are going to go back and forth, but again, these guys are a little stronger. And they're still trying to retake this area and make some landings, but what's really going to be the final blow is just when these guys make kind of like a last-ditch effort and completely, with a kind of a smart idea to just completely eradicate this area, making these guys have to send their troops instead of right here all the way down here. And they kind of made like a naval blockade with this little like tripolar area being kind of like a death zone. Even though they have the strongest navy, this little area is just kind of like a death zone, making it harder and harder to send troops, which was a very smart idea because the general of this country, they're pretty good, they're pretty smart, which is kind of like helping them out right now. And with the orange team realizing that's not very good, where we don't have really much supplies now, they decide to quickly surrender before actually it gets any worse. So now it's a good old peace negotiation. Okay, so in this peace negotiation, there's some breaking down to do, and I keep forgetting the goddamn cities. Okay, in the meantime, so basically, so first of all, these guys take, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, these guys take these two provinces right here, and the purple team here takes these two provinces. The brown team actually only takes two provinces in this entire war. This one right here, and this one right here. And I guess the other big thing being, these guys get these two provinces down here. But, I mean, obviously, they didn't really lose the war by that much. But out of fear, I mean, they did lose a lot right here, so that's why they only have this left. But it was kind of even here, so that's why they only lost one province. And this was just they kind of agreed with. They got here, but only got some of this. So I think it's pretty fair that they got only that. So yeah. But now what I actually have to do is give these guys a capital city right here, because these guys, I think it's like a pretty similar color. Maybe it's a little different, but this country was like from a really long time ago when they like broke away from these guys. But now they're back. Obviously not as the same government, but they're back. These guys are back after when did they disappear? I know they disappeared like pretty early on, like maybe like episode 8 or something. I don't know. I might have to double check that, but I'll probably put it up on the screen or something, like what episode. But like, if not, I don't know. I'm pretty lazy, but that's pretty interesting right there. But honestly, this was a pretty enticing episode. Now we have much more countries, so we could have more stuff going on. But that is actually going to do it for today's episode, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I found this pretty fun to make, but if you guys want to see more episodes, I mean, this channel is honestly doing pretty well. The last video from when I'm recording this got like 200 views, so honestly it was good. And we're like, I think at 64 subscribers when I'm recording this, so that's nice. Honestly, we are trying to hit like 100k. No, I mean, I'd actually, yeah, but like 100 subs, that's more reasonable.